My name is Julian, this is we are two German guys who bought this GT3. Well, that was the original intro. Before I realized things are not what they seemed before. Back then I honestly thought this is the start of something really exciting. A dream project and something I'd never done before. But what I didn't know is that this story turned in a direction I didn't know before. A year and a half ago I bought one of my dream cars, a Porsche GT3. The car was flooded in April 2024 during one of the heaviest rainfalls I've ever seen in my life. Unfortunately, this GT3 became one of its victims. And after some time, of course, I bought this car. Because I wanted to rebuild it, I wanted to bring it back to the streets, and I wanted to share the story with you guys. I had the passion for years, I had the budget, and I had the right people around me. Or at least I thought so. And this story I will tell you today. I've always loved projects where you start somewhere, like you have a broken car, and you turn it to something beautiful again. That's what I already did back when I was living in Germany, rebuilding cars, fixing it, bring it back to the street, and learning. And this GT3 was the next level for me because I never did something like this before. A new challenge, a new adventure. It was not about making money, it was about my passion. At first we thought the damage is not too bad because we didn't know the waterline was so high. But when we opened the engine we found a lot of water. Oh, water. This is bad news. This is very bad news. Later, after I contacted the previous owner, I found out why. The car had been parked in a basement, fully submerged for 11 days, because they are not able to get it out before. That was the moment I realized this rebuild is more complicated than I've expected before. But I still believed I could fix it. After we discovered the water damage, I wanted to move fast. And as you can see, it's totally damaged. Oh, we have 59,000 kilometers on the dash. Of course, my so-called friend, he created a parts list. On that list, every single electrical part we need, like for the interior. For example, we need the radio, we need all the switches, we need all the control modules, we need wiring, we need all this stuff because when the water enters this car, you cannot repair it. You have to change everything to make sure you have no problem in the long term. So he created this list and he told me, Julian, look, we need this and that. Just send me the money and I will order the parts. I was like, maybe it's better I order the parts so I don't have to send you the money. I order them and then I bring it to the workshop. And he told me, no, it's better that you send me the money so I can order it and it's much more easy for me. And then I was like, okay, it makes sense in a way. But for sure, you know this feeling, you look somebody in the eyes and you know deeply inside something here is wrong. You cannot explain what is wrong, but you have this gut feeling, you know. And to be honest with you guys, I had this gut feeling. But in the end, I sent him the money. I thought like, oh, this is only my head. Okay, send him the money, no problem. And I believed he will order the parts. And yes. After 2 or 3 days, of course, we need some engine parts, right? So we need to rebuild this full engine and we need the parts from Porsche. We need original Porsche parts. And in Dubai, it's like this. You go to the dealership with the money and with the parts you need and they will order. So you have to pay advance. This is completely normal here because you're not able to send the parts back after you order them. So he told me, Julian, tomorrow I will go to Porsche and I will order the parts. So can you send me the money? At this time, I don't have the money in my account. I tell him, look, I give it to you in cash. So I gave him the money in cash so he can go to Porsche and order the necessary parts. So we had a clear plan, the budget was set, and I truly believed things were moving now. Looking back now, this was my biggest mistake. Sending someone money in advance. So after I sent the money, after I give him the money, and he told me he ordered the parts and this will take some time, it's normal. Days passed. Weeks passed. Every time I asked, he told me something different. Nothing happened. The engine was sitting in this corner. The car was sitting on the lift for weeks and nothing really happened. And I knew something is wrong here, but I decided, look, I need to start on this car because till now nothing happened. Only the engine was removed. That's it. And I think this was around 2 or 3 months. Still waiting for the parts. Okay, because DHL has delay. The parts of the Porsche are in the transit. I don't know. Okay, so I decided I have to move forward. I have to start. So what I did is we removed the car from the lift and I started by myself to remove the interior, to clean everything, to put everything out of the car, to clean the carpets because there was a lot of dirt inside. And I had the feeling this is the right decision just to start somewhere. Later I realized I have no evidence of any part ordered. Okay, I don't see any part he tell me he ordered. Then I did my research because I had this gut feeling and then I was like, okay, maybe my gut feeling was right. Let's check a few things. So I went to the Porsche dealership and I asked them, look, you have some order for the GT3. Where is it? So when is the time of arrival? And they told me, we don't have an order for GT3. The last order for the GT3 for this model was 3 years ago. And then I was like, shit, I think my gut feeling was right. But I tried it on the next dealership because we have 2 here. But same answer. They don't know this guy. They don't know about any GT3 order. So basically nothing has been ordered. I called this guy. I told him, look, Porsche doesn't know about any order. And he told me, there is some special guy in this company. He's for the race cars and he ordered it. And his name is Scott. And the next day I go there again to Porsche and I ask them about a guy named Scott. And they tell me, there is no Scott working here. And I'm like, okay. So I tried it 2, 3, 4 times. I don't know. Nothing. Then he told me, oh, my guy, he brought the parts to one lathe workshop and they will repair the engine. Okay. Then I asked the guy. I asked him, look, you brought the parts to the lathe workshop? And he told me, no, I didn't bring any parts from Porsche. And I'm like, okay, this is my next evidence. Now the interior parts. I go through all this list he sent to me on Google Drive, on this Google list. And he put the links where he want to order it. And I click on the eBay link. And what I found out is the part is still online. But 2 weeks ago, you tell me the part is on the way. But normally it's like this. If one part is sold on eBay, it's like marked as sold, right? That was my next evidence. So now I know I have to remove this car out of this workshop as soon as I can. But I cannot start some discussion. You know, I have to do it in a friendly way. I have to pretend that, look, I just need to bring the car out to fix it somewhere else because this and this and that. So I tried to be friendly and I told him, look, I have one friend. He will fix the car. He has more time. He do this on regular basis, blah, blah, blah. Okay, just give me my parts and I will remove the car and bring it there. He told me, yeah, okay, no problem. So he put the engine back in the car and now I had to remove this car out of the workshop. And this is not easy because you have to know the car was sitting up on the lift, or at this moment it was sitting down, but the engine was on the other side of the garage. The parts, here's the valve cover, here's the underbody, here is the air intake, the screws are somewhere else. This was my biggest headache, to bring the car out complete, because later I have to bring this car as a puzzle to somebody else and he should try to fix everything back, and this is not easy for this car. Okay, so this was my biggest headache, because you remember the whole interior I removed by myself already and cleaned and did everything on it. So I packed it in my boxes, everything I could, and I ordered one recovery truck and one van, like from one company. On the truck I put the Porsche, and in the van I put all the parts. And somehow I was able to remove the car full. I have every piece of this car, I think so. So after I took the car out, he told me, look, I will give you the parts. They arrive the next days, and then I give you everything. Because they are in my mate's room at home, because when I bring them to the workshop, they will get dusty and this and this. And I'm like, yeah, okay, tell me more. And of course, I never get any part. More promises, more delays. And I try to stay patient, so I write him in WhatsApp. I write his business partner in WhatsApp. I wrote them an email after I found out, look, all they do is like, tell me some stories. I wrote them an email. Everything was ignored for weeks. Okay. Now we come to the next episode of this story. If you think this, what you heard, was bad, then hold on tight. Okay? Because after weeks of trying to get my money back, after weeks of trying to find a friendly solution, and I was not able to get anything, I don't get parts, I don't get money, nothing. They sent me a document. A document called client's account. On the top, my name, then 6 cars, because I repaired 5 or 6 cars with them before, and they put the cars and the VIN number and some amount. Okay? And what they tell me is like, look, after they ignored me for weeks, I'm like, why are you ignoring me? And then after like 3 weeks, he write me like, oh, why you say I'm ignoring you? I know exactly what you're trying to do. You want to fraud us, something like this. And then he sent me this. And he want to make it this way that I owe them money. Okay? After they get like 18,000 euros from my side, they don't order any parts, and I have proof for this. They don't do anything. They sent me this client's account with some freaky numbers on it, and now they want to get another 111,000 dirhams from my side. Imagine. Okay? Not only I lose this 18,000 euros, now I have headache, because now I have to prove that these invoices never exist. So every time I brought a car to their workshop, I paid upfront. Every time. So I bring one car, I paid upfront. They do their work. Finish. Next car, they do the work, finish. And I have proof for everything. Okay, so I don't know what's their mission. I don't know what they are trying to do. I mean, I know what they're trying to do, but I don't know what they think I will do. And then the interesting part is I asked them, look, you pretend I have open invoices with this and this invoice number. Send it to me. Just send me the invoices so I can check what you write there. Because you write crazy amounts. What you like say you did to this cars, just send me the invoices. Of course, I never saw one invoice. Okay? And later I received 6 or 7 messages from people. They have the same experience with the same workshop, with the same garage. And at this moment I know, okay, this is not like one time, this they do a lot of times. And then finally I said, look, I have to make peace with it. I lost money, but I make my cut. I need to make my cut because it was such a bad time for me to think all of this stuff and find a solution and everything. So I tried to make a cut, and I say, look, I make this cut and I bring everything to the authorities, and then they can do whatever they want. Because I don't want to just talk about cars here. I also want to talk about my mindset, my values, and for me it's very important. I'm not someone who holds on grudges. Like he can come to me, he can say, look, Julian, we have some money problems. We spend your money in some other stuff, I don't know. We can only give you like 50% of this money. I'm fine. Because everybody makes mistakes, right? I made mistakes before, okay? But you have to be honest. If you come to me in an honest way and say, look, Julian, we have this and this problem. We spend your money. I'm so sorry, but here is 50%. I say, fine, okay. That's it. Bad things happen sometimes. But when people try to turn things around to make innocent people guilty, or try to make them guilty, that's where I draw my line. And so I decided to make this video to tell you the full story, to close this chapter for me, to give everything to authorities, to the court. They can decide who is right, who is wrong, with all the proof I have, with all the proof they have. I don't know. After everything, after all these crazy stories, I brought the GT3 to a new workshop, a fresh start, without drama, without lies, just progress. We rebuilt the engine, cleaned everything, And piece by piece, we bring this car back to his life. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. And for the first time in months, I had the feeling something finally is moving forward. I'm uploading this video to close the chapter for me, and I really thought like hours and hours if I want to upload this video, if I want to share the story with you. But later I was like, okay, maybe it's good, maybe you see, maybe it's important for you, maybe you learn something out of it. I learned something out of it, and it's real, okay? You don't have always the good side, you also have one bad side, and this is the reason I share you this video. I also want to share you the real life of this car stuff, of the passion you have. And I lost money, I lost trust, and to be honest, for a while I even lost my spark, because this GT3 was no passion for me anymore. It was just nightmare. But I've learned something really, really important. When you truly love something, you cannot let it break you. This is the end of one story and the beginning of another.